Hi guys! Have you ever stayed on your back destroying your brain with faraway thoughts about a dystopian world not very far off from ours, but one that pushes its themes and ideas to the extreme to create a powerful feeling of an alternative reality full of interesting characters, dangerous alien creatures, a sarcastic AI with a distorted sense of humor, and other smaller bits and parts that when assembled reaches a certain maturity that fills the senses with bewilderment and maybe a little repulsion, like a good cheddar cheese.
Actually, yes I did. My mind often takes flight to the wonders of the universe, the implications of existence. What could happen if corporations...
Good, me neither! But the guys at Obsidian...
Wait a second. Did you just ignore what I said? I actually want
Like I said, the guys at Obsidian Entertainment did think about a world like that, and what they created in the end was something really far apart from what I expected initially. I think we all heard about and played Fallout New Vegas by now, right? It doesn't really matter if you did or not, I will still continue with my rambling. The idea is that I was expecting a game very similar to that, and what I got was not what I expected, but what I needed. Do you know that feeling when you buy something and every part of that thing just fits you perfectly and it seems like it was especially created for you?
No, not really.
Well, this game feels like it was specifically tailored for people like me. It has an interesting setting, good writing, smart writing, humorous interactions between the people that inhabit the world, various communities that have different ideals and perspectives on how to live and let live, nice attention to details, and surprisingly, kinda bug-free. The people at Obsidian are more known as master of the pen and quill, and less so on the technical side of things, most of their past works having quite a plethora of bugs in them, but this time around, the technical side of things is as polished as the writing. And now, I hope you'll forgive my poetic licensing for my future words and stick through the well-balanced and easy to understand rhetoric that I'm about to do. The game is a nice metaphor to everything that floats in the current state of our world. The clouds are nice, the skies are blue, and the creatures are creature-like, and the humans are just bipedal meat robots that are brainwashed to be nothing more than willing slaves to the corporate man.
Whoa, let me stop you right there, before people start tearing their ears out to stop the unnecessary flow of words. I don't want to be mean here, but I need to save our viewers from the dark corners of your brain. The game has a nice setting, and an interesting approach to our future, and what the world would be like if it would be ruled by corporations. I like how the people are depicted like a living caricature and not like normal people. They are made to look not too bright and incompetent for the most part. But this is done for humorous purposes, and it fits the world quite nice. One of the things I liked is that your choice actually has an impact on the communities that you visit. You can make them prosper or you can make them disappear, and the choice is yours. I have only one complaint to make here. The game is quite noticeably in the favor of you working against the corporations. If you side with the board, the big bad guys, the plot starts to have holes in it, and in some parts stops to make sense.
Yeah, pretty much. But even with that, the story is quite funny and interesting. I would never join the board anyway, so it wasn't a negative for me. How was the combat for you?
Bland.
Whoa, let me take the lead here and give some details and save us from the spiciness of that bland word. The combat is actually good. It is fluid, bug-free. Well, technical bugs because the organic ones are everywhere in the game. The shooting mechanics are solid and the weapons feel good. There is one little tiny problem with it.
It is bland.
Bruh, let me finish my idea. While the combat is good, it can get pretty...
Bland?
Yeah, bland. Wait, no, I wanted to say stale. Stale! There is not much variety in the weapons you can use, they kinda feel the same. The most disappointing thing about the weapons is that the uniques don't feel unique. They have the same skin with some different stats, at least make some unique skins for them. There are science weapons that, well, these weapons are extremely unique, but they feel more like a gimmick that is hilarious, but not very practical, with a few exceptions of course. I found myself always returning to my trusty assault rifle and sniper rifle. Another thing that made the combat feel stale is that the enemies don't have unique abilities or different mechanics attached to them. I think the combat would have benefited if the developers put unique enemies in the world that have different mechanics to them. Another thing that contributed to this feel of
Bland?
Stop it! Where was I? Yeah, the thing. The thing is a lack of active abilities on the part of the player character. I would have loved to have some active abilities in the skill tree, so we could add another layer of depth and fun to the combat.
So, how was the combat in the end?
Bland. But don't get me wrong, for me it was a perfect fit. What I said, it was because I tried to be as objective as possible. From a subjective point of view, the gameplay was a blast and I never got bored even if it was repetitive and kinda lacked depth.
What about the characters?
Do you know that moment when you meet a cute perfect waifu that raises your hopes to cure that empty space called heart that you have? But turns out that she is actually gay and asexual at the same time, and all of your dignity disintegrates into a thin dust of lost hopes.
Well, why did you just... I mean, yeah, totally.
Thanks, bro. Knew you'd understand me. Anyway, the characters are quite well written and quite diverse. They kinda feel real, even though some of them might be boring or uninteresting like Felix, which compensates that with a good heart and a lack of brain. Or the cute clumsy but idealistic Parvati, or the Vicar that searches for the meaning of existence and a plan to explain our lives. The tough survivalist Nyoka that carries a baggage of guilt wherever she goes, trying to let go of that past but being unable to do so. Or Ellie, that is a rich brat that tries to run away from a rich life. Sam, the cleaning robot, or Ada, which is my favorite. She's so awesome!
What does this have to do with the waifu part?
Everything!
Oh brother, he got so depressed that he started growing mushrooms in the corner of the room. Stop digging! Getting back to the subject at hand, indeed there is a diverse and likable cast of characters. This leads me to my next point, the voice acting and talent behind the character is, well, for lack of a better term, freaking impressive. Simply put, the voice acting is very good. They give life to non-breathing virtual characters and created a great atmosphere surrounding those characters just by using voice and ambiental music. And the sound?
And the sound is really good as well, from music to effects and ambience.
Weren't you depressed and sulking 10 seconds ago? What's with the happy comeback?
Well, life is a moving forward machine full of unknowns and uncertainties that never stops. So I stopped worrying for the past and moved for the present.
Whatever.
Anywho, the sound is good, and when combined with the unique graphics and art style, creates a certain experience that I never had before in this type of games.
So what are you trying to say, that you like the game?
No, of course not. Yeah, I freaking love the game. The game was made for me. This game is a project of passion and creativity, and it shows in almost every aspect of the game world. The people, while extremely exaggerated in their exaggeration, are fun to interact with, and the story they bring with them is worth exploring. I couldn't help myself but feel that some of the stories written in this game are actually part of the experiences some of the developers lived while working for corporations, just way too exaggerated, and that created for me a nice throwback to our daily lives. Until next time, stay safe.